What is up, guys? This is an updated version of the Fire King avatars. Trust me, I've been playtesting like crazy with this deck, and this is the final build. It's been serving me very nicely, and I would, I've been winning constantly with this deck. I rarely lose with this deck. Let's just get right into it. We're still running 2 Enthusiastic Beastman Wolfberg. Some people said I shouldn't run it because it's not consistent with the deck, but it really is, because you summon it, you have one of your other Beast Warriors in the grave, you summon that, you can go into like the majority of your Exceeds, and it actually plays off very well if you have the right cards. We have 3 Barong, searches out a majority of the deck. You can get Yaksha, you can get your Garunics, you can get your Circle of the Fire Kings, and you can get your Onslaught of the Fire Kings. Very good card, combos very well with the whole deck. We have 2 Yaksha. I've been throughout playtesting, I've been going back and forth between having 2 or 3. And I finally decided on 2 because he doesn't do that good, kind of on his own, and he needs to combo with the deck. He's really there just to get Garunics engraved. You play Tenki, get him to your hand for Garunics. Speaking of Garunics, I know in the last video I said you need to run 3. I've decided that, you really do only need 2 because, once you have one on field, you don't really need another one because, and I noticed this, and if you watch that Battery Men duel that I put up, it's, if you have 2 and one gets destroyed by effect, he's going to blow up the other one on the next turn. It's going to create an infinite, boom, like what happened in the Battery Men video. So I finally decided that you really only need 2. Next we have the Flame Veil Fire Dog. We moved it down from 3 to 2 because I noticed that, even though for a 1900 beater, he really doesn't get like that much action, and plus once, the whole, at least the way I think the deck should be played, is just get Garunics on, so there's really no point in having him anyway. Once you have your Exceeds, they're going to get destroyed, whatever. I decided to put in Nephthys because Fire Fists, the Bro Fists, are really making the move. They're becoming a very threatening deck, becoming probably one of the top decks played, top 5 decks, or even in the top 3 more rather. So I decided to put him in the main deck to help out. We have 3 Circle of the Fire Kings, no longer the Fire King's Fire Ring. Again, whoever said that you need to run, 2 or hell 1, seriously, there has not been a duel where I haven't used all 3 of the Circle. Okay, maybe there were a few where I only used 2, but for the majority of them, I use all 3. It helps you so much. It gets you off a lot of your combos. You need to run 3 of this card. Let's see. What was I gonna say? Alright, never mind about that. We have, moving on to spells, we have the Infinite Trio. The Eternal Trio, Darkle, Heavy, Reborn. Not much to say about that. We have the 3 Tenki, the search out, your Barong, Wolfberg, and Yaksha. Now, if you're wondering, which one to search for, here's a little guide. This is what I've been doing, and it's been working out phenomenally. When you have Tenki and you don't know what to search for, okay, if you notice you have one of your Beast Warriors engraved, search Wolfberg, play him, and then go into one of your Exceeds to whichever fits your situation. It's worked out very well for me. If you notice that you have like one of your Circles or Call of the Haunteds or Torrentials or Destruct Potions, maybe you want to search out Wrong so you can search out your Garunics even if you need him, or your Onslaught of the Fire Kings, which is probably what I've been doing for the most part, because you search out the Onslaught and then you go to your Garunics as soon as possible. You search for your Yaksha if you have your Garunics in hand, because you just set him or you just normal summon him. When he gets destroyed, your Garunics goes to the grave and you can get off your Garunics play. And that's pretty much what I've been doing with Tenki. Pretty good card. We have the Foolish Burial. It's just there to get your Garunics or your Nephthys engraved. I use it most of the time. Hasn't been that much of a bother to me, and I think it works pretty well. We have the 2 Forbidden Lance. It's to back up your Fire Dog and to protect your Garunics or Nephthys if necessary. We have the 3 MST. I was struggling to figure out if you need to run 2 MST or 3 MST, and I finally decided if I'm gonna have only 2 Garunics, that I need to run 3 to protect him. And for the most part, it's been working for me. So yes, I would definitely run 3 for this. You can run 2 if you want, if you feel you don't need to protect them as much. We run 2 Onslaught. There was one deck profile that I watched before this video where the guy said he only ran 1 because of clog issues. I've never had draw Onslaught and then all of a sudden had a dead draw. Onslaught has always been convenient for me. He's there to get your Runics. This card, at least for me, has never been a dead draw. You need to run 2. Rekindling. Looking back, it was a stupid move to run 2 Rekindling. Because really, you're only going to use 1 Rekindling a match. I've never ever been in a situation where I needed Rekindling again. So we just bumped it down from 2 to 1, and it's been working pretty well. If you have a lot of your Beast Warriors in grave, you play Rekindling, and all of a sudden you can just blow up the field, go into your Ouroboros, your Shockmaster, your Dizigma for those 3 level 4 plays, and it's very explosive. We have 2 trade-ins to compensate for the Garunix and the Nephthys, and it includes your draw power, and it's been working pretty nicely. I'm drawing to a lot of good things with this. We have 2 Call of the Haunted. It's pretty good if you set it and your opponent MSTs or Heavy Storms it, because you can chain if you have one of your Fire Kings in grave, summon them back, and then when Call of the Haunted gets destroyed, they get destroyed and then they get their effect. That's why it's here. For defense, kind of, we have Compulse, always great cards, the Bane of Windups. It's a pretty good overall card. I took out the Deep Prison because I felt that Compulse was a better defensive card. We have 2 Destruct Potion, works very well with Barong to get off his effects, and it's also if your opponent were to run over your Garunix with a bigger monster, you can save him with Destruct Potion and get his effect and gain some life points. We have the 1 Solemn Judgment because, hey, it's Solemn Judgment. You really gonna say no to it? We have the 2 Torrential because, it works for your defense and it helps to get off your Fire King's effects. Onto the extra deck, we have Abyss Dweller. He's good for the Atlanteans, Dark Worlds, anything that, utilizes the grave. We have 2 Diamond Dire Wolf. This card's awesome because, you can use it on your Barong, your Yaksha, your Garunix, whatever, they'll get their effects, and you get to pop a card, one of your opponent's cards, he can use it on himself. We have Evil Swarm or Ouroboros. This card, completely awesome. You're saying, well, he takes 3 monsters. Trust me, I have summoned him in plenty of duels, and he's always been a big help. He's got 3 awesome effects at once. He's a Compulse. He's a DD Crow. He can only use these effects once, but whatever. He's a Compulse. He's a DD Crow. He's I don't really know a card that really gets a card from the guy's grave. I don't know, Spirit Reaper. Anyway, we have Gunman. I don't like Cowboy. Gunman. At first I didn't like him, but after a while I realized that it's kind of neat having an 800, and I've had to use it sometimes. So yeah, we have 1 Jedi Pearl. He's just there, for run over or whatever if you need a big ass monster. We have Heliopolis. If you do happen to have those 2 Garunix or the Nephthys on field, you can use that. Maestro, I mentioned it in the last video. He's saved my ass plenty of times. We have the Shockmaster. Again, pretty good. Why not run him? If I can summon Ouroboros, I can summon him. In Utopia, just for the level 4. Black Ship, because I personally consider him stable. We have the Ray, just for the health, because we have room in this extra deck. There's really not a lot, room that we can't spare. Here we have 2 Diamond Dire Wolves, for God's sake. We have Pappy, we have Roach, for maybe Chaos Dragons or whatnot, and then we have Vylon Dizigma. Moving on to the side deck, we have 2 E-Virus, because fuck Red Nova Dragon. And I guess the Geargias, whatever. 2 Maxi for the wind-ups, or even Synchros, because they seem to be making a comeback, that whole Quasar play. We have 3 Night Beam for, what do you call that? Chain Burning, Exodia. We have 2 Debunk for the decks that utilize the grave, like Atlanteans, Dark Worlds, all that schnaz. We have 2 Goes and Match for the wind-ups, or maybe even Heroes. We have 2 Light Imprisoning Mirrors for Agents, and when the deck does come out, Constellars. I know Fire Kings is my favorite deck, but then I discovered Constellars, and it's an awesome deck. I'll probably do a deck profile on that. and we have 2 Shadow Imprisoning Mirror for the Inzectors and the Dark Worlds. So, that's pretty much it. Like I said, this deck, when you utilize it right, when you use the cards that are above, the deck pulls off phenomenally. It would not surprise me if this becomes a top tier deck. I've won, you know, multiple times with this deck, and you know, because we're in a format where, you know, popping shit with effects is common, so I think this deck is going to do very well. So anyway, I'm going to conclude it here. Enjoy the deck, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Goodbye.